So after this fantastic promo, we cut to some in-ring matches. We cut to SCU with Colt Cabana. Colt Cabana is making his AEW debut officially tonight in his first in-ring match against the Dark Order, made up of Evil Uno, Stu Grayson, John Silver, and Alex Reynolds. Now, the announcement is official. Matt Hardy has signed with AEW. Lance Archer has signed with AEW. I'm missing somebody. Has signed with AEW, and potentially Luke Harper has signed with AEW. Now, rumors are running rampant of who's going to be the Exalted One, who's going to be the leader of the Dark Order, who's going to make an appearance for the Dark Order, right? Is it going to happen even tonight? So we cut to the tag team match, which happens to be one of the two full-length matches that AEW had on the card tonight. And it was your typical match. It was the Dark Order, the number one seeded tag team in AEW currently, taking on former tag team champions SCU, right? And with Christopher Daniels finally making an in-ring, finally competing in the ring. We haven't seen him compete for quite some time, actually, since the storyline was going on where we weren't sure if he was actually the Exalted One or not. SCU gets the better of the Dark Order, which was a surprise. We thought that we were going to get the Dark Order's push to continue going, but it's not over yet. SCU gets the better of the Dark Order tonight, not pinning anyone of matter, so Evil Uno did not take the loss. Stu Grayson did not take the loss. Colt Cabana got the Chicago Skyline and finished him off with the Superman finish. He gets the pin on I believe it was John Silver or Alex Reynolds, one of the two, I'm not 100% sure. And after the match, Evil Uno grabs the mic and he's just in disarray. He's unhappy with what's going on. He cannot believe that they took a loss. This wasn't supposed to happen. This wasn't in the game plan. This wasn't even what they expected going in tonight. They thought they were going to run, they were going to be the most dominant faction, and they were going to take the victory. And just coming to think of it, I think this may have been the only face faction to go over tonight. We had a lot of heels dominating tonight. The bad guys were running the show tonight. So SCU picks up the victory. And Dark Order member Evil Uno grabs the mic and he is livid. He's yelling. He's like, no, this is not how it's supposed to go. When the Exalted One arrives, heads will roll. Now, rumors are, people are under the assumption that Matt Hardy might actually be the Exalted One. From a storyline perspective, and I say this, unless they plan on changing Matt Hardy's character, which with the Matt Hardy brand on YouTube, he's been suggesting that he's trying to go back to the broken gimmick, broken Matt Hardy. Broken Matt Hardy doesn't really fit with the Dark Order, if we want to be honest. Broken Matt Hardy is about cleansing the world. It's about being the greatest in all of space and time. He's a Shakespearean character who is quite out there and loony, right? The Dark Order is really about forming a group of losers, putting everyone who's losing and stopping people from losing. Basically, they're a cult, and they're recruiting anyone who happens to be on a losing streak and looking to turn around their career and just being dominant. And that's not Matt Hardy's character. In my opinion, and this is, like I said, it's in my opinion, and maybe it does happen, and maybe it does come to fruition or not. I wouldn't be surprised if Luke Harper makes his debut in it, and it turns out he's the Exalted One. Luke is due for a gimmick change. Luke is not going to come in as his WWE character looking like one of the Wyatt families. Luke is in need, whether he keeps the beard or not, is in need for a gimmick change, and personally I feel he would be the perfect fit for the Dark Order. He's got the right character. He's got the right size and frame. He's a monster. You take him serious that he would just destroy you and heads would roll if Luke Harper came into the ring. He's also pretty decent on the mic. He can carry a good promo when given the opportunity, and who knows what he would be able to do if when given the freedom to cut his own promo and not have someone scripting the promos for him. So my opinion and what I'm thinking that Luke Harper does turn out to be the Exalted One and does join the Dark Order within the near future. I'm not saying it's going to happen next week or the week after. This storyline has been building for 2 months now of who is the Exalted One. We've teased Christopher Daniels. We were under the assumption that it would have been Marty Scurll at one point. Then we thought maybe it was going to be Matt Hardy. But I wouldn't be surprised if we do get Luke Harper or maybe even Lance Archer, one of the two. but I'm leaning towards Luke Harper entering the Dark Order and being the Exalted One. Moving on from the tag team match, we were then joined on commentary by Dr. Britt Baker, whose storyline continues to grow her hatred for Tony Schiavone and the joking around that they have with one another, which is fun to see, right? She comes out with the Starbucks cup, she hands it to Tony, she turns it so the logo is seen on screen with Tony holding the Starbucks cup. For those who know, Tony used to work at Starbucks before getting back into the pro wrestling business. That was his part-time job. So it's fun to see that they can continue to play on that idea that Tony was working at Starbucks. Britt is one of the best heels. She's had a couple of matches, the dark match the week before, but on the mic she's fantastic. You want to hate her, and you want that. She goes on to talk about how she's the best pro wrestler, best women's wrestler in the business today. And there's not a single person who could stop her, and she deserves to be the number one contender. She deserves to be the champion, and she's also the only pro wrestler to have a PhD and to be a doctor. There is nobody else as successful as Britt Baker, as incredible as Britt Baker, and as intelligent as Britt Baker. She has a full-time job as a doctor, and her part-time job is pro wrestling. And she is fantastic in the ring, and she does not make no bones about it by telling you that I'm that much better than you are. So Britt joins the commentary team, Jim Ross, Excalibur, and Tony Schiavone, for a matchup in the ring with a Big Swole taking on Leva Bates, the Librarian. This happens to be one of your first squash match of the night, but at the same time, it's a talent boost. Leva Bates is getting some in-ring experience against Big Swole, and we're pushing Big Swole to potentially maybe a matchup against Britt Baker, or a bigger challenger on the rankings list. Nothing too crazy happens in this match. The Librarian hits Big Swole with the hardcover book. Big Swole hits with the she hits her with the book and then hits the backstabber. But Big Swole is not too bothered by these moves. She makes short work of Leva. She hits her with a head kick, then the cutter, and then hits her with her Dirty Dancing finisher for the 1-2-3, getting the victory over the Librarian, Leva Bates, and continuing to push Big Swole into maybe a potential title opportunity or a confrontation with Dr. Britt Baker for a chance at the AEW Championship. All very potential matches.